Hello everyone and welcome to the Club President webinar. As we go through the slides, please feel free to pause the video or take notes as we go through it. Now let's begin. So some of the general duties of the president include goal setting, appointing and delegating, monitoring, motivating, evaluating, problem solving, training, succession, and overall just setting a positive professional example for your club members and your board members. Make sure to set goals for your club to accomplish, appoint members to committee chairs, and delegate work to others as well. Do not try to do everything yourself. Please, please, please work with your vice president, your advisor, your committee chairs, your club members, and your board members to run a successful and efficient club. Make sure that you're motivating your members every time you meet with them and evaluate your members' work occasionally. But overall, just be positive and organized and a good team player. Communication. This is super essential in running a successful Key Club. So we recommend creating an email group for the board and the members, maybe creating a group chat or a group meet or a Slack, but just having an efficient mode of communication with your board members, your committee chairs, and your advisor, and your club members. It's also your job to inform members about upcoming events within your club, within your division, and within your district. Be professional on all levels of communication. Communicate with your lieutenant governor and communicate with the faculty and Kiwanis advisors. Again, if you don't know who your Kiwanis advisor is, please feel free to reach out to your lieutenant governor as they have all of that information for you. So communication. Greet members at the door and remember, they're the reason that we do what we do and they help with the service. So acknowledge everyone and make sure to remind them how important they are. Board officers, hold board meetings at least once a month to discuss upcoming projects, finances, goals, progress, and etc. Your team work together to run a successful club. Also, advisors. It's super important that they don't do your job. They're there to advise and help you work to plan projects within your school and meet guidelines. Make sure that they aren't doing all of your work. Communication. So your lieutenant governors have a monthly electronic bulletin that gets sent out every month. You should be copied on this because if your contact information is listed in the Officer Information Form, otherwise known as OIFs. These MEBs contain district information and divisional information, and it's super important that you relay this to your clubs, your officers, and your advisor. So district officers. Feel free to contact a district officer if you ever have any questions. Again, all of us are here to support you and make sure that you guys have a successful Key Club year. So your other duties, you basically serve as Chief Executive Officer. You call and preside over meetings. You plan meetings and projects. And most important, delegate, and assign tasks to members and officers. As president, you are assigned the duty of planning every club meeting and conducting them. In your absence, it is your responsibility to make sure that the vice president diligently replaces you for the meeting. Therefore, another duty of yours is to always inform the other officers of the meeting agenda and make sure that your vice president is knowledgeable about the events of the meeting, and make sure that if the vice president can't make the meeting, that you have someone to cover for you. And this is super, super important. Again, I strongly advise against relying on your advisor to convey this information. Make sure that you're working with your board and you maintain efficient communication. And also ensure that all tasks are completed. Examples, dues, work with the treasurer, and pride reports, work with the secretary. Duties. It is super important to represent clubs at Kiwanis meetings and events because they can help you fundraise for Decon and they can provide Decon scholarship money that can be very helpful come April or February when dues are due. Represent the club at divisional council meetings. This is very important because you will learn how to maintain your club and how to keep your club growing in months like December when membership might kind of decrease a little bit. Also, attend service projects and club/divisional events. Attend KC. This is also known as Key Club Kickoff Conference, And this is where you kind of learn what your duties are and make sure that your other officers are trained. Next is Spring Zone Rally. This is super important because this is one of the most important events of this Key Club year, in which you elect your next lieutenant governor. And this is super important because this is who will run your division for the next year. So you want to make sure that you have a say in the next person that's lieutenant governor. And lastly, the district convention, if possible. I know this year, 2020, it wasn't possible, and that's why we're doing this webinar, but it's Decon is an amazing experience, and I highly recommend it to each and every Key Clubber. And you can learn a lot at Decon. And if you have any questions, again, reach out to your lieutenant governor. Lastly, it's your duty to hold elections prior to Decon and submit a new officer information form to your lieutenant governor. Again, officer information forms, otherwise known as OIFs, are how your lieutenant governor contacts you, contacts your board, and contacts your advisors. This is how you get your MEBs and any other important divisional or district information. Meetings. Visit our website or the Florida District website weekly to see any upcoming events and news. With members' input, create and abide an agenda for your weekly meetings. Make sure to work with the board and the committee chairs to see if they have anything to add during these meetings. Make sure that these meetings are organized and that people are paying attention. Again, if you have any ideas about or concerns about how to get people to pay attention, work with your advisor. They're most likely teachers and they have experience with public speaking. And if you need help with that, work with your advisor, work with your board. So just make sure that everything is running smoothly. And also, another point that I want to stress was it's always important to ask for your members' input before finalizing this agenda and finalizing service projects, because if you're planning a big service project that no one's going to volunteer at, it's not pointless, but it would help if you have volunteers that support what you're doing. So just make sure that you're getting members' input, but in an organized fashion. Meetings. So make certain that each club and board meeting is well planned and organized. Chaos is not fun. Make sure that you are being a leader, but a kind leader. Make sure that you are speaking loudly but smoothly. Make sure that each meeting ends and starts on time. And most of all, make sure that everyone's having fun. Make sure that it's an environment of friendship and fellowship. Conduct and preside over regular Key Club meetings, making certain that the Vice President is prepared to preside in your absence. Develop a good working knowledge of parliamentary procedure. And again, if you have any questions, you can contact our legal committee or your lieutenant governor. Assist and lead. Lead the entire membership in a well-rounded program of activities and projects. If you ever need any icebreakers that you want to lead at your meetings, feel free to contact your lieutenant governor or check out our website. And I believe that was listed, I think, 2 slides above, so you can just go back. But also, monitor all officer work to ensure that everything is being completed on time. Check in from time to time to make sure that each officer is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that, offer your help and make sure that your vice president is kind of doing the same thing. Have exceptional knowledge of Key Club. Know the structure of Key Club. And again, if you need help, it's completely okay to not know the structure of Key Club in the beginning. But again, make sure you learn that. Work with your lieutenant governor. It's not something to be scared of. They're a resource to you, and I'm sure that they would be glad to teach you the structure of Key Club. So if you're embarrassed or anything, don't feel bad. We're there to help you, and we're there to be there for you. So, anyway, educate new members about Key Club and transition and train the president-elect. It's very, very important that you have a president-elect, a secretary-elect, a treasurer-elect. Make sure that there are successors for each position and make sure that they are trained and they know what to do. This will entail a successful year in the following as well. Make sure to set up a good Kiwanis family relations. This means working with Builders Club, working with your Kiwanis in your community, The Kiwanis clubs in your community, again, can fund your trip to Decon, so make sure that you're working with them. Start projects within the first month of school, send delegates to the district and international Key Club convention. I believe the one in 2020 of July will be held in San Francisco, California. And also plan at least one social activity or service project per month over the summer to maintain excitement and interest for Key Club. And as stated before, try to visit your Kiwanis Club every 3 to 4 weeks. Also, try and meet with K Kids, Builders Club, Circle K, and just make sure that you have a good Kiwanis family relations. Maybe also create a committee for that. Moving on. Set goals. Keep in mind that ongoing evaluations of club meetings and operation leads to continuous improvement in the club. Make sure that goals are clear and attainable. It's all about improvement. If you set a goal that is not attainable, it's kind of disappointing. Make sure that these goals are attainable so that you have something to celebrate, but also work hard towards them. Continuously monitor the club's progress towards goal accomplishment and the activities and responsibilities of all officers and appointees. Set goals. So your goals can be in terms of service hours, membership, or fundraising. I recommend within the first 2 months of school getting together with your officers and your advisor to kind of set these goals and just try to plan out what your year will look like. Club administration. So work with the secretary in filling in your club's annual achievement report. And this is super important for awards at Decon, the District Education and Leadership Conference held annually every April. This year, awards that your club may have won will be sent out in an email either later this month or either sometime soon. But also make sure that each paid member has his or her dues. Has paid his or her dues and has received a membership card, pin, and a membership handbook in return. If not, please be sure to contact your lieutenant governor. And again, if they haven't, confidentially do it and help with them and work with them. Act as a school and community liaison. It's your job as a president to be a leader within your community. Keep in touch with the student council and the school administration. Make sure, for example, that if you're doing a fundraiser for Decon or a fundraiser for an organization, that you know the school's rules and policies. Maybe the PTA is doing something similar, so just be aware of that. Keep in touch with student council, the school administration, and your community. Meet weekly with your faculty advisor to cover agenda points, and current club issues. This is super important because your club faculty advisor is there to advise you, so take advantage of that, but don't let them do your job. And again, if you have any confusion about anything that I've mentioned in this PowerPoint so far, please contact your lieutenant governor. They are more than welcome to help you. Lastly, the Governor's Project. Our immediate past Governor Star Tahiti's project was Generation Green, and there's some information on the slide, but I believe that will be changing soon, so keep a lookout. And lastly, resources. For more information, please visit www.floridakeyclub.org/resources and then /again. Again, contact your faculty advisor, lieutenant governor, or zone administrator at any time. They're always available to help you. And we love hearing from you. We love hearing that you have questions and that you're interested in Key Club. So again, please don't be afraid. We are always there for you, and we just want to see you succeed. So let's play a game that would happen at Decon. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to your lieutenant governor. Thank you all for being so patient and staying through the end of this video. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, and stay healthy.